Something feels off right now. We're being told that talks are happening tomorrow in Pakistan. That this could move toward a deal. But if you step back and look at what's actually happening on the ground, this might be the worst possible moment to make one because pressure on Iran isn't easing, it's increasing. In the last 24 hours, traffic through the Straits of Hormuz has basically collapsed. Only a handful of ships are getting through. I saw only 5 yesterday. Normally, it's well over 100 a day, so that's not a slowdown. That's a real disruption, a real blockade. At the same time, the U.S. is expanding pressure, not pulling back. Another U.S. Navy carrier group is arriving over the weekend, which makes it the third huge carrier group in the region. We now have just incredible firepower to bring to the Iranian terrorists. More enforcement. The posture is getting tighter, not looser. In Iran, they're not backing off. They've seized ships. They're using fast attack boats. They're firing on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. They're pushing back. They're doing it under pressure. So the situation isn't calm. It's active. It's very strained, and it's getting more so. And that leads to the real question, are we close to breaking them? Because if you look at what's happening inside Iran, it doesn't look like stable at all. There are growing signs of significant internal division. Power isn't clearly aligned, and the group that appears to be getting influenced, the Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, is the most hardline element in the system. That really matters because even if a deal gets signed, who actually controls what happens next? A deal only works if the people in power want it to work. And right now, the people gaining power are the ones least likely to compromise. They really hate Trump and are very motivated to crush him. So now you have a situation where pressure is building externally and instability is growing internally. That's not usually when you make a deal. That's when you see if pressure forces a break. But there's the other side of it. Trump clearly wants out of this badly. You can see it in the messaging. You can see it in the push for the talks. There's political pressure, economic pressure, and the longer this drags on, the more risk there is. So the question becomes, what would he agree to in order to end it? Because fast exits usually come with trade-offs, often very bad trade-offs, concessions that calm things in the short term, but create problems later. And if that happens, it won't be just about Iran. The real test of any deal Trump might make is about perception, because if a deal is made, that leaves the same hardline power structure in place, especially with the IRGC gaining influence within Iran. It's going to look like we stepped in, applied pressure, and then backed off before it mattered. And politically, that's a problem. Trump spent years attacking the previous deal, Obama's deal. So if this ends with something that looks similar or even worse, that's going to follow him. So he's boxed in. He doesn't want that to happen. So if you move too fast, we risk a weak deal. If we wait too long, we risk escalation. And that brings you back to the core issue. Is this the moment to make a deal or the moment to push harder, to really ramp up the pressure? Because right now, all the indicators point in one direction. The pressure is high, the system is strained, nothing is broken yet, but it's really close. Now, if you make a deal at the wrong moment, you don't solve the problem, you just reset it. And this is where the timing really matters, because pressure like this doesn't just build forever, it either forces a break or it forces a response. And right now, Iran is not responding cleanly. That's not strength, but it's not anything that looks like surrender either. When you see mixed signals, internal pressure and no clear direction, it usually means the system's under strain, and they are. And historically, this is the moment where decisions matter the most. If you move too early, you let that pressure off before it does its job. If you wait just a little longer, you can see the system start to fracture on its own. That's the risk here, because if Iran actually feeling this economically, militarily, internally, then making a deal right now could stabilize the regime we're trying to take down right when they're about to weaken. And once you stabilize it, your leverage is completely gone. Then the world will ask, why did you even bother? So we will see what happens tomorrow on Saturday. It's going to be another big day of headlines. And if there's anything over the weekend, I'll throw up a video with any information. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel and mark the bell so you can get notified. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you.